It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to full shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Hope Madden.
It's movie time. And, Hope, is it time for another Liam Neeson search?
You know, that's funny because I make that comment so often, and this is the first time that I'm like, oh, it is kind of a Liam Neeson movie, isn't it?
It's called Searching.
That's right.
And it stars John Cho,
Mm-hmm.
who is Sulu in the new Star Trek.
He's Harold and Kumar. He's Harold from Harold and
Right,
Kumar.
Harold and Kumar, right,
That's the first thing I saw him in. But yeah, he's been around for a while. And usually in a somewhat comedic role, but not today.
No. What's the hook on this one?
You know, I think the gimmick here is that the whole film plays out really on his laptop, on the dad's laptop. And you know, that happens kind of more and more often. I think the first film to really do that was Unfriended, a
Right.
horror film from a couple of years ago. And then they did a sequel this year to the same thing, and now this one. And it's a way of sort of, it's a gimmick, is what it is. And when it's done well, it's you have to applaud the filmmaker, Anish Chigante in this case, that it doesn't get tiresome. You know, you're not like, just please go outside, just take me outside. And I do think that they do a pretty good job. I mean, the integrity of the concept isn't 100% from beginning to end, but they do a good job, I think, of making it work.
I'm amazed. I mean, I was engrossed in the film. I identified with the characters. Now, Dad is looking for daughter. She's disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And he's using social media to try to find her.
Right.
To go back to see whom she was talking to and try to get those connections. And I'll tell you, Hope, even though I had that darn annoying screen that I look at every day.
Right.
On the big screen, which is a real irony.
Right, exactly.
I thought it was really good. Now, another one that this reminds me a little bit of that I liked was Her.
Oh,
Joaquin
sure, I can
Phoenix.
see that. Yeah, the entire relationship that you have with the film is by way of kind of the virtual relationship. Yeah, I can see that.
You know, I mean, at least I'm thinking it's such a part of our life that you might be nauseated by having a dramatic film about somebody who's watching a screen all the time.
Right. On the other hand, it makes good sense because you know, traditionally you're sort of missing person police procedural. You spend a lot of time with the cops door to door, and you just wouldn't do it that way. I mean, this is exactly This is exactly how you would go about trying to find somebody is by looking up who they follow online and you know, following leads online. I mean, you would do everything there. So I think the movie does a good job of, like you're saying, somehow keeping you compelled.
I know. I mean, it is a thriller.
It is.
The twist. Do you think it works?
You know, I think for the most part it does, and a lot of that I think is because of John Cho's performance.
Yes.
I think that he's very believable, and he's never overly dramatic, and the way he reacts to the environment, in the fact that he's not reacting to a person most of the time, right? I mean, we're just sort of watching him be while he figures these things out. I think he does an incredibly good job, and helps to sell what I think a slightly campier performance would make feel like a TV show.
Yes, and you know, his connection with Deborah Massing is an effective one. She's the police officer in charge, the detective in charge of the case.
Playing against type, I think. I don't know enough about her. Maybe she plays cops. I'm just, the only thing I really know her for is Will and Grace, and of course it's a very different role as the detective in charge of the investigation.
But I think those two elements are really very important in a thriller, regardless of whether it's about computers or not.
Sure.
Is he believable? And I agree with you 100%. For those who are looking at our video, I have a photo of him. And what strikes me about him, as you were talking, is the ability of his eyes to kind of, or his eyebrows to kind of connect in a worrisome way.
Yeah.
that's not, I think, as you were implying, not overdone.
Right. No, he's very, yeah. Because if you think about the performance, it's interesting because he is never reacting directly with another person in the room, you know, and so he's not the way that you would. You're looking somebody right in the eye and you're responding to their behavior. He's basically just by himself, which could be just deadly in a performance.
Yes.
Either you've got the high drama, or you know, somebody not very naturalistic. It would just be boring, and he does a really great job of keeping you compelled without overselling the drama or the grief or, you know, the worry. I mean, I think he does a great job.
Well, and look at regardless of the way this is set up, and I think the interesting thing is his use of computers. What is so important to me is the human element is a father looking for a lost child.
Yeah.
I mean, what could be more compelling
Yeah.
For all those of us, and you and I are both parents, if our child should be lost?
Yeah.
What can you do? The other part that I find interesting is that we don't quite know what kind of an engineer he is, but he still is a pretty sharp guy.
Right.
With his computer.
Right. And it's also, I think it's worth noting that I think, you know, when your child gets to be an adolescent, it's hard not to suddenly feel like, I don't even know this person.
Oh, right.
You know, and they kind of dig into that here. So
Oh.
it's a way to complicate his panic and his grief. Is also this idea is, oh my God, I'm a terrible dad. This is the person I love most in the world. I don't even know who she is. And I think, again, they don't overdo that.
No, but
they make it so that you can connect to it. You understand that horror.
That is so true, and I had forgotten. Thank you for reminding me. Thematically, the thing that really impressed me was how much you know the people you love.
Yeah.
And which is one of the scariest things about living, is to believe, whereas you might be married to somebody, it might be your child, and you believe you got a lock on that person,
right?
And you know, and this really brings it to the fore about we may be deluded to think that we really know,
right?
And what it really works here is that the computer holds some of those answers.
Yes. Yeah, it really does, and not that hopefully it's telling you that you should snoop around on your kid's computer, but it is nice to know if they come up missing that you can maybe find some interesting leads.
And think about this, Hope. What's worse than trying to extract anything from a teen?
Yeah. Not much. Root canal, maybe.
So, thank you, Mr. Computer, for giving me some of the answers I'm never going to get from my child. Hope Madden, it's summertime, and this is a thriller, and I have to admit a weakness for thrillers, and for good thrillers. What grade would you award Searching?
B.
Good. And I'll award it a B+ because I do love thrillers. But basically, we've got a solid B movie with a most intriguing approach to the technology that so dominates our life.
Yep.
It's still all about kids, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know the other thing, this movie really begs you to pay attention. Pay attention. All the clues are there for you, as a good thriller should be.
Yes, that's right.